Rugby is back. Dragons win. Raiders win.
Season's done.
Broncos win. There's a few happy boys sitting at this table. The way that we will do this, I know it is only Monday. We don't have teams out just yet, but we'll look at the upcoming fixtures in round 2 and allude back to the results from round 1. Storm, Rabbitohs, massive game Thursday night. Amy Park, the Storm did get a win over the Tigers, but it came at a massive cost.
Well, they're behind a lot in that game as well. They had to battle back to get into that. But
they were down 14-4, I believe, at one stage. The West Tigers, who would have predicted that? They did show a lot of grit.
I think they played 15 as well for most of this match.
Yeah,
too.
well, Welch and Welch and Jennings, both could be gone.
14. So.
Yeah, both could be gone. For the whole year.
Welsh, I think they confirmed Achilles. So.
Ruptured Achilles, George Jennings.
I believe she's gone to the Dolphins.
Yeah, can you chase that up?
Just so you confirm. So, yeah.
The Kafusi boys definitely are.
A lot of the Storm forward pack is going to the Dolphins. George Jennings with the knee, I think they're going to say that was ACL.
Yeah, both these guys, non-contact injuries, way off being contact. You never like to see it. Thinking of them both. And Brandon Smith broke his hand in the first 5 minutes. So the fact that they were able to rally and win this game, pretty unreal. Rookie Tyron Wishart got some big minutes in the place of Brandon Smith. Harry Grant, of course, missing the game through suspension. He's the son of Illawarra Steelers legend Rod Wishart. So good to see, a bit of father-son kind of stuff going on in the NRL. Jerome Hughes, for mine, the best in that game against the Tigers. And the Rabbits, very, very underwhelming in their loss to the Broncos. Dolphins miss out. Christian Welch, he has resigned.
Resigned through to 2025.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Yeah, I do remember all those rumours about it. But
still, it's a huge loss for the Storm. And on the Rabbits, underwhelming. And I think Adam Reynolds was missed by both clubs in that game. So
big time.
I think Wayne is an even bigger out for the Rabbits. Wayne Bennett, that is.
Jason Demetriou, big shoes to fill, doesn't he?
He's filling the shoes of the current GOAT. So that's going to be a challenge.
Well, I think after that game, Matt Johns was saying the last team that was successful after Wayne Bennett left the team was like the 1988 Raiders.
Yeah, right. That's
every other team. A long time ago. Yeah. Every other team after Bennett's left has sort of taken a bit of a dip.
Yeah, right.
Can you find out who took over? It was Tim Sheens, I think, that took over.
I think straight. Yeah, I believe so. Bennett.
I think that's a decent replacement there.
And Bennett was only there for a year. I think his first year coaching an NRL side.
Yeah.
Lachlan Elias, a little bit quiet. He's the rookie that will be wearing the 7 for the Rabbitohs.
It's going to be a big challenge because I think Walker really needs that kind of support, I think.
Yeah.
Because if you give him, too much, not free reign, but it's too much on his shoulders, I think. He's more of a ball player than a set piece like manager and trying to set it up.
Doesn't have the kicking game of Reynolds. Who really does? No one does. Who really does have the kicking game of Van Reynolds outside of maybe Nathan Cleary.
Yeah, but intercepts when Cody Walker is like a fat kid in cake. So it's a bit of a thing in his game, unfortunately. But
Yep. Who have we got here, lads? Monks, have you got the odds?
Storm for me.
Yeah, I've got the Storm here. Cattle coming back, Harry Grant, Cam Munster, obviously. We spoke at length about the losses of Welch and Jennings, and Smith will be out for at least a month. Massive blows, but getting 2 of the better players in the NRL back can't do them any harm. In Melbourne, I've gone the Storm.
Yeah, I'll go the Storm here as well. They are favourites, $1.39. The Rabbits are out at $3 at the moment.
A touch shorter than I probably would have liked. Given
this early on in the season.
Yeah, this early on in the year, they were underwhelming in their win against the Tigers, despite showing a bit of grit. I'd probably want a little bit more value than that. Three Storms here, eh?
Yep. And on that, the line is 7.5.
Rabbits no Latrell, I think, not heading in the right direction currently.
How different are they without Latrell? We spoke about
all their structures are built around him and Cody. It's just they're completely out of sync without him. It'd be interesting to see what that looks like when he's back.
Match of the round, boys. Dragons, Panthers, 6 o'clock Friday night. Dragons did get the win against the Warriors on the Sunshine Coast, so I shouted a beer to McCallum.
I got to say,
for that hat trick.
Yeah, I got to say, Dragons Warriors was probably the worst game I didn't watch this week. So
the worst game you didn't watch.
I'm just talking shit.
Bulldogs, Cowboys in the rain.
That was pretty dreadful.
No Tarek Sims in the side for the Dragons. He's a healthy scratch. There's a lot of trade talks.
Yeah, it sounds like he's on the move.
Yeah, he was one of the Blues' best forwards in Origin last year. Melbourne seems to be interested in acquiring him. Aaron Woods did his hammy pretty early on. Won't expect to see him. And yeah, no Cleary, no worries for the Panthers. I think a few of us tipped Manly. That aged very, very well. Hammered Manly 28-6. Sean O'Sullivan playing 7, and he looked very, very good.
So I think that was the biggest margin of the week last round, which was, I think, worth noting because we were used to the 40-4 drubbings from last year. So
that was
every game this round, except that one, was pretty close. So within a couple of tries. So nothing really kind of blew out to the point where you turn it off at half time because they're running up the scores.
Yeah,
so.
Knights Roosters was 14 points, but by far the biggest margin there. And the games were relatively close this week. A couple of upsets and not that high scoring either. There was we saw a fair few points in Parramatta and Gold Coast. But outside of that, not very high-scoring games. Tell you who was really good, Liam Martin into the starting side with Kurt Capewell going up to the Bronx. He played 80 minutes. He was excellent. And Isaiah Yeo has to be the best ball playing 13 in the game. Sean O'Sullivan maybe was made to look very good, from Isaiah Yeo's ability to play as like a third half. Young Isaac Targo in the centres. Filling the big shoes of Matt Burton. He was very good. Panthers firmed as premiership favours. I think there's a good reason for that. They're about $4, and they'll start this game as strong favourites. A couple of Judas here. It's pretty hard to tip against Penrith Panthers as much as I would love to see
What's the go with Cleary? I've heard 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, three is what I'm hearing. Again, it's Monday here. Strange Monday, public holiday, Canberra Day down here. Unusual for us to be podcasting on a Monday. It's just the way it worked out this week.
Better than work, so it's all good.
Yeah, bloody oath. No teams available just yet. Yeah, all the chat that I'm hearing is Cleary definitely won't be playing in this one and may be back for round 3 or round 4.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
Yeah, latest reports is 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they can be safe against the Dragons. They'll be right. So Penrith more for me.
Couple of Judases.
Yeah, no, that's it. They are favourites, $1.28 at the moment. Dragons are out at $3.75. We've got a line of 10.5.
Yeah, maybe as a one-eyed Dragons fan, I'd be thinking about taking that one. Maybe.
Hopefully keep it close.
All right, Friday night, the 8 o'clock game. 2 teams, highly touted teams, that are coming off losses. I am talking about the Roosters and Manly. The Roosters absolutely outclassed by the Knights. Sam Verrills was unavailable. He broke his thumb at training, so Connor Watson got most of the run at 9. Kiri and Walker, very quiet. Haven't really played that much together. Victor Radley got concussed, just doing some Radley stuff, flying out of the line, having a head clash. I was actually playing a bit of golf in the Newcastle Roosters game. You reckon the surface was pretty ordinary? Looked like a Karachi surface, did it?
Oh, well, that would be rock hard. So I think it was more the turf. They were kicking up turf or pulling it apart.
A bit loose.
All the rain they've had up there. Not unsurprising. I think your point on the Hearts probably not playing well together. They just didn't gel though. From what I've seen, they were so off. And with Teddy being in the news last week for some racist comments, and that maybe playing on his mind a little bit because he had a really bad game, bit of drop ball. Do I think it's going to help them against Manly? They did have a bad week against Penrith, but I think Penrith just defended so well. They really couldn't get into what Manly like to do, which is spread to the edges and go fast. But I think against the Roosters, they're probably going to get a lot more opportunities. So I might go Manly in this one.
Oh, I like it. Hard one to tip because both these teams we thought would be very good. this year, and both looked really shit last weekend. So yeah, I'm a bit split. I'm going to go the Roosters, but I have no confidence. Early in the year, rugby league's quite hard to pick, isn't it?
Real hard. I think I got maybe like 2 tips correct last week. I maybe got a few of those later games up as well. But
I think I had 5, wasn't too bad.
I was like 4 in a row losses at the start of the round.
Sean's chasing it up.
Quick, 4 of 8 for me. Half of me. Not a great round for tipping or betting, I'd say.
No. And yeah, this game's going to be very hard. I did back Manly in last week. I'll do it again. There are underdogs at $2, but only just with the Roosters out at $1.80. Line of 1.5.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's pretty hard to split these two teams, given how poorly they both played and how good their rosters are. Saturday, 3 o'clock, we've got the Gold Coast Titans taking on the New Zealand Warriors up there at Seabus Super Stadium. Both teams coming off losses. Dylan Watini-Zelezniak had a badly broken thumb. The NRL physio shared the x-ray of his thumb. Check that out. It's not nice whatsoever. He did play out the game, but he'll miss close to 6 weeks. Sean Johnson, first game back at the Warriors. Wasn't electrifying, didn't look too bad, I didn't think. And the Titans went very close against the Eels in that high-scoring game yesterday. AJ Brimson, a late scratching with groin soreness, expecting him to be back for the Titans. What do we got here, lads? I'm going to go the Gold Coast Titans up there at home. I think they should get the job done.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Titans as well. They've still got the same problem as last year, though. They leak a lot of points.
Consistency.
Their defense. I think it's going to be a problem for them going forward. But other than that, they've got a lot of talent there. So I think that they should. Warriors, unfortunately, don't. They've got a really... I guess they go under the radar because they are a New Zealand team that none of their players can really get big star treatment outside of Sean Johnson. But... they just got a very quiet roster by all accounts. So,
and what we kind of failed to talk about last week is just how much it plays on them having to play away from home
this year's
third season.
Yeah. And then we're talking about another New Zealand team during the week. So I think what was the chat that all the club bosses had agreed that if they were going to add another team would be a second team in New Zealand.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
But deserve it. Let's just get some games back there.
You got to play games in New Zealand first to add another New Zealand team. Anyway,
nice. No, you do. Probably can't go past the Titans on this one. They are favourites $1.50. The Warriors are out at $2.60 at the moment, and we have a line of 5.5.
Moving forward, the Sharks take on the Eels, PointsBet Stadium. Cronulla nearly stealing a win in Canberra on Friday night, one of the better games of the round. Nico Hines, thoughts? I thought he was a little bit quiet in the first half, and then he showed a lot of promise in that second. It's hard, like we're talking about Lachlan Elias before, to judge a 7 after just one game. Even, with Luke Cleary coming back, he is so proven as a 7, but even he had a bit of a quiet game. I thought Nico looked quite good, especially in that second half. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think the Hines and Moyland combination, they just go work on it, find out what works for them. They're both more running ball players than they are, elite passing or kicking game. So I think they just got to find what works for them and who takes what going forward. But the Sharks, like we said, they've got talent. They definitely pushed the Raiders there, and we'll talk about them in a second. Eels, though, they scored a bunch of tries against the Titans. I think there was a bit of a run-in for a few of the Eels stars at a nightclub over the weekend, of course, with a former player that we'd rather not talk about.
I don't think it was too much.
I don't think it's
a bit of a verbal altercation is all I'm
But, Eels in media, in newspapers again, well, water is wet. I think these teams are very similar currently where they're at. So this should be a good close game of footy.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe Sharks.
Maybe Sharks. Yeah, it's a hard one to pick. I'm gonna go the Eels. I think they are favourites, but I think this game should be a little bit closer than the odds suggest, although it's not that far apart anyways. Yeah, I don't know. Early on in the year, who the fuck knows? Eels have shown that they can score points. Was that a function of them being good, or was that a function of them playing against the Gold Coast Titans? Who knows? Hard one to pick, this one.
Very much so. I'll go off the Eels, and that's purely just kind of based off last year's form more than anything else, I reckon. Although, yeah, it would be good to see Nico Hines.
He's got to build himself into a halfback.
Yeah.
He played more, 1 and 6 last year.
Yeah, essentially all 1 and 6.
Yeah, so it's a new thing for him, so they're trying it out. They didn't have their coach last week as well because he had COVID. So
he'll be back.
Yeah, I don't think it matters too much, but at least he'll be in the sheds for him at half.
This will be the first game at the revamped Cronulla Sharks Stadium. Points Bet Stadium. Points Boy.
They don't give us a sponsorship, so that's all right.
Well, we haven't really asked them. I guess we've been barking up the wrong bush with the sports bet stuff.
Possibly. So Eels are favourites $1.65. Sharks are $2.25. And we do have a line of 2.5.
Close game of footy.
Tough one. Yeah. Cowboys, Raiders up there in Townsville. No faders last week. It really did look like some of the old Canberra Raiders of old, up 18-6 at the half. They did give up 7 double-digit leads last year.
Another great Ricky Stewart halftime speech. He gives a few of those. They obviously goes in one ear out the other, and the boys come out real flat.
What do you reckon he was saying? If one of your missus talks shit down there again, I'm going to fucking drop the whole team.
We'll get to that. But, It'd be interesting to see if they could go back or someone would look it up and do a comparison of all their periods, because it was literally a 20-minute period in the second half where they, lapsed and they scored all these points and got back in, and then they played well in the second half when Papali is on the field. So I have a feeling that a lot of their lull periods happen when Papali is not on the field. So, and you think about it, you take Papali out of it, where's their veteran leadership currently? It's pretty much all on Whiten. And whether, again, he's kind of still growing into that role he is the superstar in the squad, but as the face, franchise dude, I don't think he's kind of in that mold yet. He was so good in this game. He had to lift, and he really did.
In his 200th,
to get to there.
He was the best on ground by a long margin. What about that try at the end from Hudson Young? He had a lot of work to do there, didn't he?
And I think I talked about Jack needs to get his passing game involved a bit more, so I did get that a bit more. But also then using his running game as like a weapon, a decoy. They've definitely worked on their structures because it worked. It suckered in like 2 or 3 defenders, and they all went to him, and that gave Hudson a nice little corridor there, and he just powered his way over with carrying 3 blokes to the end. I'm glad they didn't go back and try to look at it for a double movement because his elbow was down a yard short. He bounced though. Momentum.
I'll say momentum. But momentum would have been all right. Josh Hodgson, bit of a scare. It doesn't seem like it's going to be too bad. There's a little bit of
meniscus.
That meniscus is what they're saying. It looks like there's a little bit of cartilage that's been chipped. But apparently it's quite a minor surgery. Could have him back in a month. Tom Starling looked good, I thought.
I think this could be a slight blessing in disguise for the Raiders because Hodgson's, of course, is leaving. We know he's going to the Eels. That forces Tom Sterling into the starting role, and then you're going to have a spot for a utility. Maybe that's Savage. Maybe that's how they get him on. Because I don't think they've got a backup hooker because Havili's now playing for Souths. So I don't think they've got any other options.
Well, Starling's the backup, so backup.
Exactly, which will be a young fella. And when you've got someone like Savage who's raring to go, maybe that makes sense. Of course, he's not going to be your 9 though, but
he can be a utility.
He can be a utility. You can get him out there somewhere and rotate the guys around. But it'll be interesting to see what they do going forward. Cowboys, like you said, played that dreadful rainy game the other day. So Cowboys going to cowboy at this point.
They weren't too bad. It was hard with the amount of rain that was coming down. I thought the hammer going to fullback wasn't a bad move for them.
They did play Townsend at 7 and they had Deedon at 6, so they went with that. And they do look small for that's a byproduct having 2 small halves in your side. Not sure if that'll be the long term get for them, but I think the Raiders should do the Cowboys. I think they're a better squad overall. They should beat them.
Agreed. Monks?
Yep. I reckon so as well. Just back on Papali. So Sharks were able to get back into the game while he was still on the field. So it probably wasn't so much that he was off the field and they were lacking.
I think this is the Raiders' problem. They have no idea what it is. This is something. Second half, that 40 to 60 minute, for whatever reason, they just lose their way.
Is it a conditioning thing?
Well, that's always been a chat. But they played the last 20, so it's got to be more mental.
They just come out of the
super flat, and the other guys are G'd up. So, is it a Ricky halftime speech? What's he doing? Is he getting them too G'd up, and then they come out and then they're all endorphins dumping, and who knows?
You've got this game in the bag now. We're leading halftime.
Yeah, let's get on the VBs. Let's get ready, boys.
Poor fella, you see his presser.
Well, I saw the Sharks trying to do their press, and they had the bin
with the bin
in the background.
The Canberra Raiders song right in the background. Get that up, poor fella. Assistant coach, having to go face the media with Fitzgibbon being unavailable and copping the Raiders team song in the back of his presser. And then Ricky's, he really struggles with the word text.
You're right.
And I got 47 Texas this weekend, like the state, Texas, Texas Rangers. Big Ricky. Maybe that's his problem in the halftime speech. I got 47 Texases this week.
He's saying something that is just not coming across for the Raiders, and just coming out confused. I don't know what to do.
Look, we're talking about them.
True, they're listening to Ricky like we have no idea what we're talking about, bro.
We're talking about the Raiders as if they did fade. They got the win. I think they go out.
They did enough to hold on.
I think
they were down a point with 5 to go, so they needed that try late. Do you want to talk about Ryan Sutton?
Yeah, just briefly. Didn't get picked. Second time that this has happened with.
Looks like I signed for the doggies. So I think
a wife or girlfriend taking to social media and having a crack at the captain, at the coach, I should say. Not the best look. I don't think if you've got to rock up to work, with your tail between your legs after, your wife or girlfriend's had a crack at your boss, essentially. Yeah,
it's a weird move.
Yeah, I don't really get it.
No.
It's the only place in sports I kind of see it. Like you see occasional, maybe a wag might say something in more support of their man, but not like this where it's on the socials and you just get stuck in to the head coach.
No, it's not a missus, but OBJ might have something to say about that.
It worked for him, didn't it?
Well, I've heard chat that he's contacted Amari Cooper's dad to teach him how to use iMovie to cut up the highlights.
Everybody.
Anyway, we'll get to that in the NFL chat. What were the odds, Marks? We all picked Raiders.
Yep. Yeah, I picked the Raiders. Their favourites $1.60. Cowboys are out at $2.35. We've got a line of 3.5.
Raiders. Sunday games, some absolute rips and orders. Newcastle Knights, West Tigers, McDonald Jones Stadium. The Knights, after we were all pretty much bad-mouthing them last week, got a big upset win over the Chooks. Dan Gagai was very, very good in his return to the Knights. The pack was pretty
Another
good.
one I think Souths are going to miss big time this year. Besides Reynolds, they miss Gagai too.
And Jake Clifford and Adam Clune, they must have been listening to the Esky. They thought, fuck these idiots in their basement. They were actually pretty good. So maybe those question marks around the Knights' spine are not, maybe not warranted. Again, it's only one game.
Maybe they got a bit of physio and they straightened it out.
Yeah, straighten out the scoliosis.
Tigers did push the Storm, of course, as we mentioned before. They were up at 14-4 at the half, but then fell apart. I did like Hastings. I think he played decently well in this. And his job is really, what can I get out of Luke Brooks? He's there to do the recovery mission, which hasn't helped anyone else that played 6 there. So.
And Brooks was good in this game. His kicking game was really good. They did their best, and then the Storm just a bit too classy, even with three men off hurt.
Yeah, well, I think they had 4 failed HIs in total. Was it this and this one?
That was the Dogs, I think.
The Dogs,
we'll
get to that. Sorry, you are right, Can you get health on Tyrone Peachy? I think he hurt his hand late in this as well.
He was quite good.
He was good
13,
for them.
13 for the Tigers in his debut there. Boys, I think the Knights get the job done here.
So I'm just going to say the Ponga and probably Gagai factor, they're just a little bit more talented. The Tigers got probably the worst list in football, unfortunately.
On paper.
Yeah.
Mind you, that worst list in football
push the Storm.
Yeah, led the Storm for quite some time.
Or Craig King gave him a good kick in the bum, I'd say, at half time, and they came out and played well. So.
Oh, bellyache. You'd hate to be on the back end of one of those, wouldn't you?
Yeah, especially week one.
Yeah, indeed.
Got an answer on Peachy for us?
No news just yet, I don't think.
I think he might be okay. He might be okay.
Odds
odds and
we'll
tip,
see.
please.
I'll go Knights as well. I'll go Knights.
Yeah, I'll go Knights as well. Just looking at this, they are favourites. They are favourites at $1.39. Tigers are out at $3. And we got a line of 7.5.
Beauty. Into the final game of the round. Bulldogs Broncos. This is 14th versus 16th from last year. Both of them have a win already. So good stuff. Like we did mention, the Dogs did have 4 players out with HIAs in that rain-affected game up in Townsville. They get the win there.
They got the medical sub to come on, but still, that's one replacement for 4 blokes.
Yeah, difficult times. And the Broncos also had a gritty win over the Bunnies Friday night. Albert Kelly, Billy Walters linked up well. Obviously, Reynolds should be coming back to make his debut after missing the round 1 with COVID. Who stays? Who goes? Does one of them drop to the bench, perhaps? Because Reynolds is coming in. Is it Kelly that stays in, or is it Billy Walters that stays in?
Coach's son always gets picked.
Yeah.
He did play pretty well.
I thought they were both pretty good. I tend to agree. Yeah.
So back on the Doggies, I thought Adokar and Matt Burton were probably some of their best. So some good buys there for them. So it's good to see them get in there.
What about Payne Haas? We're talking about it before.
Elite. He played all 80, I think, as well. So
he's a freak.
He's a freak.
He's
talent.
a freak, man. 186 run meters, 45 tackles, 4 offloads.
Yeah.
No prop does what he does.
Yeah, he's the fittest. If you can't agree that he's the best prop in rugby league, I suppose there's an argument maybe around a Fisher Harris or maybe a Fanua Blake. I don't know.
For mine, maybe slightly more damaging, but he's most talented, the fittest bloke. He's a ridiculous talent.
Yeah, for mine, he's hands down the best prop in the NRL at the moment.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No, Broncos looked good. I liked how they were running the ball. Albert Kelly, he played really well as well.
Yeah, that intercept.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the addition of Adam Reynolds will probably be enough for them to get over the Doggies. I'll back the Broncos this one.
Yeah, I'll go the same, although I'm not super confident. There's a lot of games this week that are quite hard to split. Yeah, but after finishing 14th last year and getting the spoon the year before, I think the Broncos start this year 2-0.
Yep. Yeah, I'll go with that as well.
3 Broncos, kiss of death.
That's it. Especially when you hear these odds. Actually, in my opinion, I thought these odds are probably a little bit too close together. But Broncos are $1.80 and the Bulldogs are out at $2 at the moment.
Okay.
Line of 1.5.
See what happens.
Yeah.
Very close football game.
That wraps up the week in NRL.